Well, no, it's a.
There you go. There you go. Just knocked it down. Right there. There it is.
Follow me. There we go. Follow me. All right.
Yeah, that.
We're starting to pop on. Are we going? Okay. Glenn, can we start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thanks.
How's everybody doing today? Oh, no, where's the energy? Did I kill the vibe? Oh, come on, how's everybody doing? There we go. That's much better. That's much better. Donati, how are you today? I am fantastic. I am so excited that you guys are all here, and I know that some more people are going to probably trickle in. We're probably going to have a good contingent on Zoom, but we do have a special guest today. So I'm super. I know some of you guys have met him. I'm super excited about that. I'm going to get through the pleasantries and the announcements as quickly as I possibly can because I want him to take up as much time as he can because he has a tremendous amount of valuable information that I think can benefit everybody in this room and everybody in real estate. So without further ado, I don't even have my clicker. Where's the clicker?
This one?
There we go. Thank you. All right. So February 21st, we're like 10% done with 2024, which is a little weird, to be honest with you. But let's start off with something positive. Something positive that's happened to you. Tell me something good, business or personal, within the last week or two. Anybody? Going once? Yes, sir. What do you got there?
I got a potential really near a listing.
Okay. Where's it at?
Pacific Palisades.
Pacific Palisades. That's not a bad neighborhood. The neighborhood's so-so, right? Well, and how did you get it?
I just look at the property.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly land.
Yep.
And I saw the records and I saw the client.
Yep.
And I went to their house and
So you just went to the house and talked to him?
Yeah.
The door knocked him?
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, I guess it's pretty easy, right? I mean, so I was just talking to Carney before we started, and she's just like, I mean, the way you guys both said basically the same thing, that like, this is not a super complicated business. Like, we don't have to make it more complicated than it is. Like, you got to price it right, Parnian? And then you just kind of knock on the door and have a conversation with somebody. Yeah.
the thing is that I think so, it depends how old is the person to a book.
Oh, yeah.
Because they start telling you a lot of stories after they're like 70 years old. So
I do it I'm 53, I do it now, so I get it.
I mean, it's for me, it's much more easy.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the skills, because I think there is skill to being a realtor, one of the skills that I think is really important is actually listening, like not talking and listening to what the person is saying and listening, not with the intent to respond, but with actually hearing what that person says. That's what I think is like the key to getting into deeper relationships with people. And the deeper the relationship, the more they're going to probably transact business with you, right?
Yes, and I also you also helped last week.
Uh-huh.
You said about just go for it, pretty much. And that's what I did, because I remember what you said last week. And I just, what can I do, right? The worst it can say is no, we're not even open the door.
I love it. You see, Glenn, I helped him. No, so this is, I think this is really valuable. So what he did is super powerful. And I think that if you could take one script and use it with everybody you know, and the script is, you own a house, if you could get the price you want for your house right now, would you sell it? Yes or no? No? Okay, great. But this is the thing, is you're never gonna know unless you ask. And the question, the key is, if you could get your price, what's that price? It may not be the price that it would sell for today, but what if it is tomorrow? What if it is in a year? And this is one of the best strategies that I don't see a lot of people doing, is this, like, you go on the MLS and go back to expired listings from 3 years ago that did not sell. And you contact them. And you said, hey, you had your property on the market, seemed like a really good property, seemed like a really decent price. Why didn't it sell? And then you ask them, after they tell you their story, if you could get the price you want for your house today, would you sell it? No? Okay, great. Worst case scenario, you have another contact, you put in your database, you nurture, and they'll sell at some point. But that is super powerful. Congratulations to you, man. That is like, that's hard to follow up, but let's try. Anybody else, something positive or something good? Yes, Glenn.
Okay, so over the weekend, I did open houses with Mira. If anyone needs to know anything about open houses or how to do them, or how to talk to a client, Mira is the girl to go. But you've got to be on time, you've got to know your shit, and just be prepared. Mira is phenomenal. I loved it.
She
We
can
had
talk.
such fun. She can talk.
Yeah.
And she pulls the vibes and the sounds. So that's one thing. The other thing is a party that we've been to together, but the same crowd. One of the guys almost proposed to me, but he said.
He's already married. Oh, God.
He did get some kisses from
Oh,
but that's only because he's dead. Anyway, he's got a house on Westside that is listed with another company. He's not happy with them. Hopefully we will get it, it's 7.5 in there. That's
Nice.
my game, that's good. So if you've got buyers, talk to me, you can really feel something.
nice. Congratulations, Glenn. Anybody else? Something? Yes, sir. What do you got, Bobby?
In Country Club Park, all the sides
Okay.
area. An old friend of mine was just coming to my house for my birthday a couple weeks ago and said, hey, you want some of my dad's house? I said,
He said, do you want to sell my dad's house? So he asked you if you could sell his house.
yes, he did.
Were you like, nah, I'm good. Too many already.
Said, "Absolutely." They said they're gonna sign a listing agreement the next week too. I'm gonna check on them.
And where is the property at?
The Country Club Park, like Arlington Heights. area.
Okay. And what price do you think the property's at?
I think it's at 1.4 million.
So your first deal is going to be 1.4 million.
Sure hope so.
There we go. Wow, that's congratulations. And you've been here for what, like 6 years? Like how long you been here? 3 weeks. Come on. Come on. You guys are just making me look good right now. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. Man, these are hard to, these are great. Like what else? You guys are making me look really good in front of Alfonso, by the way. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anybody else? Something positive, something good before we move on? Going once? Going twice? All right. Let's go on to, just having a calamity of technological errors right now. Click it for me if you can. Ooh, there we go. All right. So quote of the day. As you guys know, I'm a huge Kobe Bryant fan. There will be times where you will succeed and there are times that you will fail. So wasting your time doubting whether you're successful, whether you're successful or not is pointless. So I watch a ton of videos on Kobe Bryant. I think he's amazing because one of the videos that resonated with me, I showed you guys, and he said that success in his sport and just in general is math. It's basically time on task. And one of the things I realized doing this business for over 20 years is that, and I'm just gonna keep this really super brief, is that there's an equation that I think realtors don't understand that is super valuable. And that equation is B plus S, I'm sorry, that's 100% wrong. V times S times T equals your output and your outcome. Your outcome. You guys, what's V and what's S and what's T, right? So this is volume. This is skill. And this is time. So the volume, which is what do you do? What are you doing? So what's your activity? Are you calling your sphere? Are you door knocking? Are you following up with people? What are you doing? And then this is the other thing. Most agents, man, how do I can't say this the right way without getting in trouble, I don't think. Oh boy. It's being recorded. Most agents suck. Okay, that's not me, that's statistics. So statistics say that 49% of all agents have done 0 or 1 deal in the last 12 months. That's not me, that's just the statistics that are out there.
40%?
49%. So if there's 1.5 million real estate agents in the United States, that means over 750,000 agents have done 1 or 0 deals. Like, let that sink in for a second, 1 or 0 in the last 12 months. So that is this equation, volume times skill times time. So the skill is that we get into this business and we don't understand that there is a dramatic amount of skill that we have to have. So you don't have to have a lot of skill, but if you have 10 times 1 times 1, what's that? That's 10. If you're trying to do 100, how are you going to get to 100? So you can increase this by 100, you can increase that by 100, so you have to increase one of these numbers. But if you do a lot of volume and a lot of time, this automatically gets brought up. So Donati, going and knocking on somebody's door and having that conversation. Is that the first time you've ever done that?
No.
Okay. So if that was the first time he ever did that, it could go good, it could go bad. If it goes bad, he has to wake up and do it again tomorrow regardless, right? You have to talk to people. If it goes good, he's going to have to get up and do it again tomorrow regardless. It's the same outcome. Whether he fails, whether he succeeds. You pick up the phone to do cold calling. You pick up the phone to call your sphere of influence. Somebody's going to want to buy, somebody's going to want to sell. If you call everybody you know and they say, I don't want to buy today, or I don't want to sell today, you're going to have to do the same thing tomorrow. And guess what? Somebody might, but there is no difference. So when you doubt yourself, it's futile because it's the same process regardless. And he said that he doesn't let things, like when he has a big loss, when Kobe had a big loss against the Pistons in the championship, he's like, you know what? It bothered me. I let it go. And then I get up tomorrow and I do the same thing. And then the consistency and the behavior. And this is the biggest problem that I see with real estate agents is like, if your volume level is top as a 10 and you have 9, 8, 7, 6. So if you're like, I'm going to put in an 8 today. I want you to look at levels of volume and levels of skill, not in steps. I want you to look at them as in Richter scale. We are all very familiar with earthquakes that happen in California or are going to happen, right? Do you know the difference between like a 5.0 and a 6.0 earthquake? It's not a little difference. It's a massive amount of difference. So if your effort between an 8 and a 9 is 10 times or 50 times more effort, that's what I think you have to start looking at when it comes to your business. Is that if you're at a 9, you're like, man, I gave everything I had. I can do an exercise right now and I can show you that you can always give more. Do you want me to show you the exercise? All right, I need everybody to take your right hand and raise your right hand like this. Okay. Now, I want you to try and reach a little bit higher. I want you to try and reach a little bit higher. I want you to try and reach a little bit higher. Can you reach any higher? There you go. So I just told you, reach your hand up high. Then I said higher, 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 higher. Every time I said higher, you could do more. Right? We could have kept going. I would have had people standing on tables. You see my point? You can always do a little bit more. If you're not getting the results that you want today, the only thing stopping you is the doubt that you are telling yourself in your head. That is it. Because there are people that are less smart, less skillful, less intelligent that are doing more business than you right now. Guaranteed. I can say that conversation to Richard Schulman, who's the #1 agent in LA. There's somebody that is less smart, less skillful, less talented than him, doing more business than him right now. And he did like 300 million. So like, let that sink in. The thing that's holding you back is you. So if Donati decided to knock on that door, because this was me, when I called expired listings, I hated it. I'm really good at it. We can role play right now, I can prove it if you want, but I hated it. Sucked. So what I did is I would call expired listings. And when I got somebody and I got an appointment or I did something that was really cool, I was done. Like, I'm out, I'm done. Now, if I would have changed my mindset and just kept going and say, listen, I'm gonna do 10 of those today, 20 of those, 100 of those today, that would be different. The only thing that stops you is your self-doubt. If Donati knocked on 10 doors, I bet you 7 out of 10 would have a very similar response to that one, is that we always limit ourselves. It has nothing to do with the market. It has nothing to do with anything else. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm done. We can move on. I want to get to Alfonso.
Hey, Frank,
Yes, sir.
don't move on yet, because I think you bring up a really interesting, conversation about like doing the work, right? It's not always pretty. Kobe was a prime example of that, right? He would just work on little pieces of the puzzle over and over and over again. And he would make mistakes and he would get better over time, but it's that time on task that really, really makes the difference between people who are very successful and those who desire to be successful, right? It's about getting into action on day one, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that it's so important to have that mentality of doing on the daily, right? Being action focused.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Joey. I appreciate that. That's good stuff. All right. So we have family reunion coming up. This is going to be February 25th through the 29th. Gary Keller, Mel Robbins, Jay Papasan, and Tony Robbins. I think it's going to be the best family reunion there is. We will have Gary's going to be doing his vision speech and his state of the company, which I believe is going to be live streamed. And so we'll have that here. I'll give you the information so we can live stream that here in the office. If you are going, there is still time to go. Let me know and I can hook you up and tell you all the information that you need. But this is going to be awesome. It's in Vegas. I'm driving out Sunday morning and I'm coming back Wednesday afternoon. But it's going to be cool. And because of that, so one of the reasons is Tracy's going to be on the Luxury Without Limits panel at Family Reunion with, who's she going to be there with? Anybody that we know of?
Caroline Hood.
Uh-huh.
And then there's one from Dubai,
Yep.
then one from Florida, one from Mexico.
And some dude from Spain, right? Some weird dude from Spain is gonna be there, so no. Alfonso is gonna be on the panel with Tracy, or Tracy's gonna be on the panel with him, either one. That's gonna be at the Mandalay Bay, 10:45 to 12, in Island D, E, and I. So these rooms are really, really super big. I think there's about 19,000 agents that are gonna be there, so really super excited to have that. So if you're going, make sure you go so we can support everybody. I'm excited. All right, so we want to welcome Cole Harkson, Ella Flores, and Paul Kahn. Paul Kahn. So welcome to these guys. I don't see them in the room, but welcome to everybody. Super excited to have everybody join the team. Got a lot of good things happening. Happy birthday to Bobby, Rosario, and Samson. Happy birthday, everybody. Huh?
No, it's March 24th.
Come on, Joe. We all knew it was in March. Where are you at?
That's because you're eating cake.
Was it yesterday?
No,
Oh.
March 20. It's March
Okay,
24.
all right,
We have another one.
all right. Westwood Escrow update, Goalie is actually on her way here. I think she got a flat tire. I like, there's 4 people that have gotten flat tires on the way to our office. Like, there's something going on with that. I don't know.
Sounds a little like the dog ate my
I
paper.
know, right? I know. But Goalie is actually super busy with us. She's doing some great things. If you guys have an escrow need, escrow question, or want to open an escrow, you can contact her. If you don't have her information, you contact us and we'll give it to you. Super excited to have her as a part of our office. Clearmark title update, Jerry Ferris is our go-to title officer. Make sure you contact him for all your title needs.
Also, yeah, it's not as well.
He probably had a flat too. He did. He had a flat like a couple weeks ago. Oscar is, his wife and him are not feeling very well, so I believe he is on Zoom, but he is here for your mortgage needs. I call him all the time. I had another lender give me some information that I did not think was correct, and I called him right away, and he actually proved that the lender was not correct. And he answered my call right away, which is super important when it comes to a mortgage lender. So we're super excited to have Oscar as a part of our team, and if you need anything, you can contact him always. Advanced Group Property Inspections, Mary Kay, that's her QR code. If you need anything when it comes to home inspections, make sure you contact her. Their team is awesome over there. NHD update, Kevin Polizzi, he taught some classes this month. If you did not get those classes, I believe we have recordings of those classes. They are really, really good. NHD is really super important when it comes to your property, so make sure you get all that information. Are we gonna have Westside? We did not have it on Monday because it was holiday. We're gonna have Westside coaching on Friday. We do one-on-one, we do group, we do everything. I want to address your needs and your business. So make sure you come to this on Friday. It's gonna be fun. And we have on February 27th, we have Old Republic Home Protection doing a class. So make sure you're here. Will this be on Zoom as well?
Yes,
Okay, be on Zoom as well.
but lunch will be provided.
Lunch will be provided. So the Super Bowl pool was super fun and weird because first of all, not everybody got a square, but 2 of the quarters ended in 0-0, which is awkward. So we had to pick the person who was closest to the 0-0 score, and that was Donati in the first quarter and Donati in the third quarter. So Donati won twice, so congratulations, Donati. And then we have Shoku, who won in the second quarter, so congratulations to Shoku. And then we have Joan, who won in the fourth, so congratulations to Joan. I have no idea what's happening with the money, but we'll talk afterwards and we'll figure it out. So I am not buying myself anything nice, just so everybody knows. So, all right, so new listings. This is the fun part. So we have Charlotte and Shoku in Ledue.
Yeah.
Ledue. In Beverly Hills, 3.299 million. That's awesome. Congratulations. Where did you get that from?
Friend, just word of mouth.
Friend, word of mouth, sphere of influence. Wow, it's weird how that happens, right? Tara on Castle Heights in Los Angeles, a lease for 25,000. Tara? Where's Tara? No, Tara's not here. How long has she been with us?
Less than a month.
Less than a month. She got a $25,000 listing. I mean, lease, that's amazing. Oh, hold on. Second one on Patricia Lane for $11,999. It's like over $30,000 in leases in 30 days that she's been here. That's wild. Congratulations to Tara and Shoku. Closings, we have Albert and Joe. Hatteras, 301, Tarzana, 425,000. Congratulations. Where'd you find the client?
The sphere of influence of Albert. It was a challenging escrow, and the buyer was overseas. And but we forecasted that there are gonna be issues when you're dealing with the funds and all that.
Yeah.
So from the get-go, we spoke with escrow and with the agent. The other agent was, not that savvy, but we had a conversation with the escrow company, and we were able to do that. And just for the reason I brought it up, if you ever have a buyer that's gonna be traveling or leaving the country and they're gonna close or transfer funds from a different country, plan ahead. You really need to be in full communication with escrow and make sure that how long does it take, if they need to get a notary, there are issues with them, they have to go to the council and all that, so from the beginning of ESCO, you need to, plan ahead.
And we learned something about that in our escrow, didn't we, Alfonso? About transferring and this is the one thing that's really good information. The other thing is that every country is going to be different. This is what I found out. And the money that is on that end of the transaction is going to be different than the money on this end of the transaction. And you do not expect anybody else to know that. You should figure that out for yourself. Yes.
Actually, it took us 3 tries to transfer funds and we had to go a different route. But before I removed contingencies, because I knew that's gonna happen, I started having a full conversation. I didn't want to remove contingency and because we're closing late.
Yeah.
The seller giving us a hard time. So always when you do that, before you remove contingencies, make sure that you ask for an extension or let everybody know that the seller will grant you an extension.
What country was it from?
It was coming from Cyprus.
Okay.
Cyprus could not directly to United States. It had to go to Turkey and from Turkey to come. And then the wiring instruction was hell confusing. So we ended up after 2 times trying and delay. Then we had, instead to escrow, the father wired it to the son here and then from the son to escrow.
That's wild. Yeah, so we're gonna actually get a master class on this in about 5 minutes here, in about 2 minutes. Alvaro and Joe on Harper Avenue for 4,650, and where did you guys find that client?
Still open.
Man, it's weird how that happens. All right, so guys, I have a really special treat for you. I'm so happy that you guys are here today because everybody in the room is gonna get something special as well. We have personally paid for and flown in. No, I can't. Okay. You'd have to write him a check. No, so, Tracy and I ended up working our database and we ended up getting a client and the client bought a couple of houses out here with us. And then, as talking to the client and keeping in contact with the client, she wanted to find something in Spain. Random. Tracy, as she's full of, due diligence and she does all the hard work that I don't do. She jumped online and she basically started researching. All the agents that are out there in Spain, in the area that the client wanted. And we ended up finding Alfonso. And there's a reason why we found Alfonso. I'm not going to give it away. He's going to talk about this. But we ended up finding and we ended up doing 2 transactions with Alfonso, who is probably the best partner that you could want in another country because it really comes down to the number one thing that you should have with your clients, and that's communication. Super communicative. And so he has actually flown here from Spain because you live in Spain now, right? That's where you do your business. He lives in Spain. He flew out here. He's speaking in a couple of offices out here before he ends up going to Las Vegas to speak on the panel with Tracy. So without further ado, you already advanced. Alfonso Jimenez.
Great. Thank you so much for coming. It's a pleasure. I'm going to stick to the time. We have half an hour. I know how precious your time is. So the presentation is going to be 2 parts. The first one, I'm going to focus in how to grow your international referral business. It's more about understanding how command works and how do you do it. Some of you have done it before, but I'll go quickly through it. And then the second part, I'll tell you about Costa del Sol and where I do my business in Marbella, so that you can also share with clients. This is a summarized presentation, but I will give you links so that you can download the full presentation so that you can also use it, okay? Going down. There we go. Okay, great. So obviously, number 1 tip I would say is travel and visit other countries, right? So that makes sense. If you're going to grow international referral business, that would be number 1. But you don't have to travel. The people who may be tight on budget or on timing, you can really, any agent, can sell international property to their client or even service international clients in their market. You just have to make sure that you leverage your AKW network, okay? So we're gonna see how. These are all the countries where currently Williams currently is at, okay? 180,000 of the total 200,000 are in the US, but the international community is growing very fast. In fact, for example, in Spain, we're about 500 agents. In my office, we are 90. So we have 17 offices, but we have plans to grow up to like 3,000 in about 3 to 4 years. Very fast, very fast. Okay. So first thing, how to create a referral? Well, make sure you go to my referral network in command. Okay. Then you look for the person if you know. For example, I checked there for Lucy Parker, who's in Dubai, and then you send the request. If it's just for one person, you can do that. You also have the option to do it to the whole office. Okay. You just wait for the response. Then you send the referral. You have the summary there. That's how it looks like. You set there, you know, what percentage, the timing for the response, and then after that you accept it and you add the contact to your contacts. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Let me share with you 4 different strategies that can help you grow your international referral business. The first one I call inbound referrals. What that means is that there are international nationalities, you know, that are investing in your area. So what you can do is try to find out which are those nationalities. If they're coming from Italy, if they're coming from Mexico. So do your homework. You can go to the Chamber of Commerce, statistics, local government, find out which are those nationalities for LA. Okay. Then go find in the Keller Williams Market Center in those countries of origins who are the top Keller Williams agents. Okay. Then go back to how I showed you through the command, do the referrals. And by map and production, you can choose, or you can choose based on luxury, or you can do different type of filters so that you find the right one, okay? Then check the agent bio, okay? And see, you know, if they can also send you the clients, connect and add to your network, okay? Obviously call the agent, and what I always say, prepare a personalized international referral smart plan. Make sure that you follow up, that you connected with the agent, not just one call, but you know, throughout the whole year, right? So that would be inbound. If you look at also how it shows in the map, you know, for LA, you can check also which are the most important cities or states where that's coming from. Currently, it's only available for the US, but it should be coming up also that you can do that for worldwide.
So hold on, you can check to see about the inbound referrals
Correct.
for your city?
Yes, so that's in map section of referrals. You go to map, you check the city, and then it gives you a percentage, which are all the different places in the States where referrals are coming in from.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
That's a great
it's
tool.
a very cool tool. Currently only for the US, but eventually will be, but obviously, I would say 95% are within the US anyway, so very little from abroad, okay? So what do you do when receiving an international referral? Okay, that is a client from a fellow agent coming from outside. Number one, respond fast, okay? Make sure that you respond fast, otherwise the agent could be looking for someone else. Appreciate that they have given you the opportunity. Obviously, sign the referral agreement that they must have sent you, okay? And then contact the client that they send you fast also. I recommend doing a live video. It's important that you connect, you know, emotionally, then you understand their needs. And for that, it's not just email. It's either the WhatsApp video or Zoom, you know, have that first connection, okay? And then from there, just treat him as a buyer in your area, you know? So just teach him about how LA is, which are the different areas, you know, where to invest. So basically from there, you just do the same thing as with a buyer. And last thing, keep the agent that sent you the referral informed. That's very important, okay? If that agent has trusted you, you want to make sure that he's always informed. You know, just sending him a picture when you meet your client, or when you're doing the escrow, when it's completed, you know, just on every single stage, just let the agent know, because he's going to be happy to send you more referrals in the future, right? let's check now, strategy number 2, that will be outbound referrals, okay? So this will be for clients that are in your sphere of influence, and you may find out that they want to invest somewhere else, or they're traveling a lot to Mexico, to Europe, so find out that they may be interested in investing abroad. So you do the same, you go find out which in the Keller Williams Market Center of that country of destination are top agents. Again, command referral, find that way, check the agent's bio. So basically this strategy is what Tracy did, correct? She had a client and then she found me. I made sure that in my bio, I had there that I spoke English. I happen to have studied here. I went to USC, so I lived here in this area. So that probably caught her attention. And also I made sure that I said that I serve international referrals. That obviously stands out from other agents that you don't know. Okay. And then that's, again, your referral smart plan. And it works the same way. If you go to map, it will tell you from LA where all the referrals are going out. LA to Austin happens to be number 1. About 10% of the referrals being sent out from LA going to Arizona.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah.
I think it's really important what he said is that a lot of the clients that you're going to get for international referrals are going to be from your sphere of influence, but they're not going to contact you. You have to contact them. And they probably don't know that you have the ability to help them outside of the country. And they're not going to know that unless you tell them that. They're not going to know that you can help them in Texas if you don't tell them. They're just going to go there and they're going to find another agent. I think if anybody's been in this business for any time, that's happened to them. Your clients left and they didn't know that you could help them in another state and you lost out on a referral fee. It's happened to us. I can't even tell you how many times. Shoku's nodding your head. It's probably happened to you.
Yeah.
It's just like you have to communicate and talk to your people to let them know that you can help them out of the country. And something like this is super, super beneficial because now you have a direct connection to that. So yeah.
Okay. So what to do when sending international referral? Obviously, make sure that you understand the needs of the client. Okay. Number 1, you select the agent in your network. Okay. Find out if that agent is willing and able and has the time to deal with your client at that moment, because it might be the right one, but it's not available for you at that moment. And I always like to say, make a rock star introduction. Thanks, Brent, for doing the same thing with me. It's a great opportunity to have the other agent shine, in front of the client. And who knows, maybe when it's your time and he sends you a referral, you should be doing the same thing. And obviously agree with the agent, the regular follow-ups that you're going to be communicating with that agent. Okay. So number 3, another strategy is what we call becoming a specialist. That could be either an international referrals or international relocation. Okay. So in your area, you can go through your social networks, doing newsletters, YouTube, and letting all your sphere of influence or everyone in your area know that you have the ability to do international relocation, obviously with the real estate in particular. So basically, very much you follow the same procedure, okay? Once you get a lead, maybe from a Facebook campaign you did, that you do international relocation, pre-qualified if that person, when at the timings, if he's gonna be able to buy something abroad. And then after that, then you start moving to finding the right Keller Williams agent in that destination and follow the same procedure we just did for the other ones. So that is a different perspective, but it also works. Just showing yourself off as an international relocation specialist, okay? And then number 4, not related to listings, but what you call your profit share, which we call international growth share, okay? So find out through your sphere of influence, through your family members, if in other countries, there's someone might be interested in joining Keller Williams or even being a realtor. So you can pretty much do the same thing. You go find out which are the main Keller Williams office in that country, okay? And then introduce that talent to the team leader of that market center. Because keep in mind that we're growing so fast. Some countries are still available as a whole region. If you end up bringing like a team leader that opens an office, can you imagine how big your branches for the trees will be? So this is a very important opportunity for passive income for your future. And I think it's also important to keep in mind, not just related to these things, right? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how you can market, about your referrals, and about the work you do. First is the preparation. Identify your value proposition. Make sure you understand what you bring to the table to either a client coming in or sending them out. Make sure you understand what are you bringing in as a value, right? You may be that you've been to that country before, that you speak the language, or just that you're part of the worldwide network, like Frank said. So make sure that you communicate that. Talk to your team leader. Tell your team leader that you're interested in doing international referrals. So if something comes into the office, then he will know who is really interested on doing this. So that's part of you preparing yourself to go out there and do it. Update your bio. This is very, very important, okay? Make sure if you come up with something today, just go to your command and in your bio, in your general, and your referral profile, the two different sections, okay? Make sure that you include there which are the areas you serve here in Lake. So when someone from outside, they're coming and they're thinking of investing in Beverly Hills, that you'll show that that is an area you serve. Include that you are international referrals welcome, okay? So that they will select you. So this is very simple, but this is why I'm here.
I think that's a great advice, because I mean, America and especially LA, we're a melting pot. Like first of all, how many different cultures are in this room right now, which is like mind boggling. I didn't even know that, like, you've been to Spain, you know exactly where he's talking about, right? Shoku's son is 30 minutes from where Maribel is,
Correct,
right?
Panama, yeah.
I'm like, I didn't know that. I'm like, that's how small, like the world has become a very small place. Were you gonna say something?
Oh, yeah, my uncle lives in Leona.
Here we go. You see?
He lived there for 20 years. He loves it.
Fantastic.
The world is a very small place. This is the thing. The best way to connect with the world on this level is through social media. Social media is like the thing that's gonna bring you together, and you can connect with everybody at that level. But knowing the different cultures and how to work, because I've walked into rooms to where I didn't know who the decision maker was. And when I tried to guess, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. So that's actually really great advice.
Okay, another advice is learning about other cultures, especially if you know which country you're going to be serving. This is a great book that I recommend. It's Kiss, Bow, Shake Hands. It's a bestseller guide. It helps you understand all the different cultural protocols and orientations, and it helps you also build relationships with people in that country. Okay, so this is a good resource that I recommend. Networking. Events, attend events. This is very important. Top agents always attend major events, starting from family reunion. I'll be at the panel, as Frank said, together with Tracy, and it's a great opportunity. When you're attending the events, make sure you go to the offices, just like I'm doing. If you're traveling, even if you're not going to an event, if you're going to Mexico for a vacation, go find out where the offices are, show up there, and I'm sure you have something to share. They'll always be willing to have you there. So it's a great opportunity to create that networking, okay? Extend your sphere of influence. Dialogues around finding out where your friends' international connections are. Just like Fran said, just asking, all of a sudden you realize someone that was close to you have family in that country. But, if you now are aware of there is money behind this, now you can dig in deeper and prepare yourself with dialogues, just like you do with the phone calls. Do it to dig in. Where are they from? What do they do? You may find out, oh, I have a cousin who's thinking about realtor. So maybe you're not going to sell them a house, but you're going to get him to Keller Williams, right? For that, you can also check their social networks. If they said something, go dig in, find out, follow up.
When he came in here, I gave him a tour of the office. We ran into an agent that said, oh, I have somebody that wants to move to Spain. Yeah. Like, just like that, like he just got a client walking through this office, getting a tour. Blew my mind.
What else on networking? Find strategic alliances in your area. So who are relocation specialists, travel agencies, Try to get into some parties or some charity events at consulates, at embassies. That also works. So those are tips for you to connect with international mindset. Okay. Expat communities. This works very well for me. These are a couple of social networks called One Internations and Small World. Has anyone heard of them? Okay, well, they're everywhere. They're here for sure. They're very cheap to be part of. It's like 50 euros, $50 a year. And they organize gatherings every week, wine tastings or sports. And these are expats that are arriving to the country. And usually they need a house or they.
So what's an expat? Can you explain that?
Expat,
Yeah, what is
so
that?
expatriates.
Okay,
An expatriate is that coming from another country and they're relocating there. And they're there for at least 3, 4, 5 years. And like in Dubai, it's full of them. And in Spain, as I will, in the second part of the presentation, I'll tell you more about expatriates, which is an important part of the international referrals. Yeah. And then follow up also. When the referral is complete, make sure you request testimonials, both from the agent and from the client. Okay, make sure you put that up in your Google, because you use that, right? The testimonials, right? So number one, and then again, have a referral smart plan. Make sure that you add the agent and the client to them. Okay. Okay, great. So this is the first part about more the technical to learn about how to do your international referrals. And now I'll spend a little time telling you about Spain, where I come from, Marbella. Okay. So that you know both parts of the presentation, I'll leave a link here. They're actually a little bit more extended than what I'm presenting, so that you can use them both for, getting your referrals, and also if you come up with someone that is interested in investing in Spain, you can use it as a guide to tell them about why investing there. So you'll have both of them available. Okay. So I'll summarize on 12 reasons to invest in Costa del Sol. Now, Costa del Sol, where is Costa del Sol? Okay, where is in Spain, which is in Europe. Okay, we're in the very southern part of Spain, right next to Africa, and that's precisely the Costa del Sol. It goes from Malaga down to Gibraltar. Okay, so that's about a total of about 150 to 100 miles maximum. Okay. While we. Do you know him? He's from Malaga.
I'm in, let's go.
Right. So why invest in Spain? So this is an insider from expatriates. Spain ranking number 2 out of 53 worldwide, okay? Number 1 in the world for quality of life. You can check on others, happiness level, 87%. Wow. Okay. What's the profile of a typical expatriate in Spain? They're about 52 years old. And number 2 nationality, USA. That's why we're very interested after British and German. Top reasons, better quality of life. Okay. Okay, why is it so important? The airport. We have location. This is the 4th biggest one in Spain after Madrid, Barcelona, Palma, Mallorca, and then Malaga. We got direct flights, and from the US we have New York direct flights, and also from LA to Madrid and Barcelona. And from there it's only about an hour and a half. Okay, so quite easy to get there. The climate. It's very, very stable. We got over 320 days of sunshine throughout the year. In the summer months, it's somewhere in between 60 to 80 Fahrenheit. Okay, it's 23, 25. And precisely Marbella has a mountain right behind it. It's called La Concha, and that's why it has a special microclimate in that area. Okay. The gastronomy. Well, Mediterranean diet. It's fantastic, healthy, very all fresh. Here you see sardines, paella, jamon. Okay, and then we have plenty of chiringuitos, which are beach seafood bars all throughout the coast. Very healthy. Okay, about leisure culture, we have all kinds of sports. We're skiing, windsurfing, hiking, and then we have Granada, Sevilla, Cordoba, major cities, all within 2 hours. And there you have all about Muslim history, Roman history. You have Africa within about an hour and a half, and you cross over to the Sahara. We have museums all the way from archaeology to Picasso, who also was from Malaga. Okay, theaters, jazz clubs. In fact, Antonio Banderas, he has a theater there, and he does musicals right in Malaga city center. Well, we have an amazing social life. I'm not going to put this video, but that's actually me with my sister. In fairs, we have a lot of nightclubs and beaches and chiringuitos. Maybe we can pass this one. There you go. It's a golf paradise for those who love golf. We have 70 golf courses in only that stretch of 120, 150 miles. 70 golf courses, okay? And especially great from September to June. That's Gibraltar, the rock, right next to it is Africa. Okay. Clean beaches. In Europe, we use what it's called blue flags. Blue flags are meeting certain quality, the cleanliness of the water, the services they provide in that beach. And we have 38 blue flags, which is amazing, for Europe. And this is a new project called the Coastal Path, and it goes from Manilva all the way to Nerja. What that means is that you have 100 miles of a path like this that you can do with a bicycle or walking, and all connected right next to the sea. You get to enjoy the flora, the fauna of the entire area. So it's beautiful. What else? Well, we have no natural disasters compared to some countries I know. We have no floods, no fires, no earthquakes. Okay, so insurance for the homes are very cheap compared to here. As an example, this is a property I have for sale. It's about a 1 million, and it costs $1,000 for the whole year, and that's a full insurance. Okay, very important now, the euro to dollar parity. Okay, so over the last, take a look at 2008, 2010. It cost $1.6 to buy a euro. Now we are parity, 1. So this is an important factor for you to tell your client. You're going to buy more for the same amount of money. Okay, so we're right now. This has only been for about 8, 9 months or more. What else? It's good to tell your client, look at the historical sales prices in Spain. It has been increasing over the last 40 years. So it's a very long-term investment. It's very secure, okay? Yeah, we have a little crisis like every all the nations, but it continuously increase. So sales price raising. Also, the amount of US property buyers, it has doubled in the last 5 years. That gives you an example why they're obviously realizing what the amazing opportunities to invest in Spain. So these are all general data for Spain. Okay. Also healthcare. I know it's quite expensive here. So to give you an example, I just chose a 55-year-old. It costs about $1,000 or per year. I mean, I've been checking here, and some of that is like per month, right?
For sure.
Yeah, that's not
Everything
so-
you've mentioned is like 10 times more expensive here, so.
yeah, and that includes dental. And that's private insurance, but there's 5 state-owned hospitals, and they are some of the best. I mean, once you become a resident, you have access to healthcare, and you don't really need private insurance. I take it because I get faster, but you don't really need it. I mean, when it's something major, they will take you to one of the state-owned hospitals, like this one, which is called Hospital Costa del Sol. Security, well, Spain is one of the safest in Europe right now, and top 10 in the world. We're part of the NATO. There's no weapons. There's safety in the street at all times, pickpockets, but no shootings. Political stability, well, in Andalusia, which is the region where Malaga is at, there's no wealth tax, no inheritance tax. And we have political stability compared to other areas of Spain, like it could be País Vasco or Catalonia, quite stable, okay? Another important thing is what we know as the golden visa. Golden visa, it's granted for investments over 500,000 euros, okay? So if a client is going to buy, say, a $1 million, they need to bring at least 500 from their pocket, and then they can get a mortgage for the rest. So if you invest 500, you will be granted a golden visa, which gives you access to work, access to education, healthcare. So it's very easy to invest there. Some of the laws, like the Beckham law that came about with the soccer player, it gives benefits to high net worth clients, right? Mostly because they reduce the taxes. You gotta pay under 20%, and then also for digital nomads, 15% tax. So a lot of great advantages for investment there. And this is new. This is only 10 days ago, right before I came. So Forbes, okay, selected Marbella as a top destination in 2024 for trendy, for golf, for gourmet, and for shopping. Luxury shopping mostly. Okay, so now briefly, I'll just tell you, these are major luxury neighborhoods in Marbella. One of them is named Zagaleta. The second one is Sierra Blanca. So these are where all the top villas are, and some of the famous and international investments happen in those 2 major neighborhoods. From Keller Williams, we're actually, we have this, what do you call it, like a development that we manage, that we're selling it directly. 16 villas at 6.5 million each and 50 apartments of about 1.5 million. It's called The Sky. It's right at the entrance of San Pedro and Marbella, okay? And I'm going to tell you a little bit about a novelty that is happening only in places like Dubai, a little bit in Miami, and in Marbella. It's what we call luxury branded residences, okay? So these are top brands recognized that they have joined forces with developers. This, for example, is Lamborghini. So Lamborghini is launching via Dark Glover, who's a developer, of almost 50 villas at 50 million and top 5 villas at 15 million. And they all have the design, the interiors, the leather, all like Lamborghini, okay?
Does it come with a car?
No. No. Yes. Then other companies, they just doing the furniture, right? So the interiors by Missoni in Marea. So these are about $2 million each of the apartments. And then Epic Marbella. This is furnished by Fendi Casa, who is an Italian top brand furniture designer of interiors. And they've already delivered 2 phases. We've got 4 phases. So we've already been selling for 3 years. Apartments are between 4 and 5 million each. They're all in the same area. This is all in the Golden Mile of Marbella. Okay. And then this is revisiting what is called Design Hills by Dolce Gabbana. This is amazing because this is actually La Concha, the mountain I told you about that gives us the great weather. And that's what that looks. So that's going to be a brand new avenue in the Golden Mile. It's all going to be with luxury shops and restaurants, Michelin restaurants. And Dolce Gabbana will be all the apartments right behind it. Okay. They go from about 3 million, but there's an apartment for 36 million, 28,000 square feet. Really big farmhouse. Okay. They're also opening a luxury beach club. This is what it looks like with the interior Dolce Gabbana. And they've combined Dolce Gabbana interior design with La Cabana, which is a famous beach club, and Dani Garcia, who is a Michelin star. So that's what they have all combined into one beach club. Okay. And last but not least, we also have 5 villas by Karl Lagerfeld. This is, an iconic in the design, and they're going for 15 million. Actually, 3 are already sold, so we got opportunity only for 2 more. Okay, so just to wrap up, my value proposition, in case that you want to send me a client, is that I'm experienced with working with the US referral clients. All transactions will be safe. They'll be all within the Keller Williams. I always show a strong commitment to the clients that you send me. I support myself with a strong local network, if it's lawyers, developers. So I'm doing refurbishment to some of the properties that the clients bought through referrals. I'm part of the ALC in Marbella, who's the head office for Spain. And only 3 weeks ago, I was named the director for Keller Williams Luxury Spain. So this is basically what I wanted to share with you.
Thank you. Any questions before we move on to the next part for Alfonso?
Do you belong to the international MLS as well?
No, the only MLS that we have in the south of Spain is called Agora. It doesn't work as well as it works here. But I'd like to speak with you afterwards and see if I can do that.
Just because I know become a member,
Mhm.
then you have access to specific MLSs in specific countries.
Okay,
There are like 5 or 6.
interesting.
I'm just wondering if
Okay.
you belong to- Because once you list the property, it's automatically syndicated. And if you're looking for property overseas, you can see it.
I see.
But if you want to have access to specific MLSs,
Mhm.
say, then you have to be a member.
Okay. No, not that I'm aware of. No, through luxury, the Keller Williams luxury division, anything that is luxury, then we send it to international, and then they do include them in their searches, but not as MLS.
What, do you know what the appreciation out there in Spain is in your area?
It's around 10%.
Annual.
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
That's insane.
Yes, it is.
Buy in Spain, people.
Property taxes, well, when you buy a property, you have to pay 7% to the government, and then you spend about another 2 to 3 in the process.
But it's not, you're not charged every year, no.
No, as I mentioned, in Andalusia, we don't have that tax anymore.
One time? Yes, one time.
You pay to the local government, for example, for the $1 million I showed you there, you pay about 1,500 a year. That's the EB, but that's for the local government. That allows for the garbage and blah, blah, blah. Like city tax, right? Not government tax.
Are you gonna hang out for a little bit to chat
Yeah.
with everybody?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
I wanna get a photo before you go. So everybody give Alfonso a big.
Great.
Hey, Frank, I also want to invite everybody, I put it on the, I put it in the chat, where Oscar Way, the chief economist for CAR, is going to do their whole presentation online in a couple minutes. The link's in there for anybody who wants to join in.
All right, awesome. We're gonna make sure we
Probably
get
get
that
started like
up
10
here, I
minutes,
think.
so do your thing.
But needs and wants before we wrap everything up. Needs and wants, going once. Yes,
Tara, everyone saw her new leases on the listing slide. If anyone has, 4 lease signs that she could use for this, and let me or Tara know.
all right, awesome. Donati, did you raise your hand?
Yeah, but next.
Okay. Anybody else needs and wants? Going once, going twice. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you. You wanna